Hey guys, I'm Bill.
And I'm Dennis. Today we're going to talk about the Noveske kit by DieTac. It's an MWS kit. We're going to give a breakdown on both of our guns and give you our thoughts and opinions on it.
Before we get started, it would help us a lot if you would all like and subscribe. We do this out of our love for GBBs and we want to convert people to using the GBB system. So like, subscribe, comment, help us spread the gospel. So last year, there were a lot of photos circulating online of DevGuru, aka SEAL Team 6, carrying these rifles during a domestic training exercise. It kind of went viral and people wanted to know what they were using instead of the regular HK416s. So someone recognized it as the N4 by Noveske Rifle Works. And a couple months later, DieTac ended up making a body kit. These come in both black and tan. We both have the tan versions here. They're made out of CNC 6064 aluminum.
It's 6061. Oh. I feel like that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Did you say it was
6064?
I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
Alright, keep doing it.
Anyway guys, since these are both MWS systems, we've used them as cold as -7 degrees Celsius. We both shoot .36s out of these, and these things are deadly accurate. And Bill's gonna give a breakdown on his gun, and after that I'll do a breakdown of mine.
We would also like to give our shout out to our friends at YNS Tactical for helping us get these into Canada. Alright, we have my build right here, which is based on more of a military style clone rifle. And I'm gonna go over it, internals, externals, and why I'm using the parts that I chose. So starting from the front here, we have an Angry Gun Deadair suppressor. This one is the one that can fit a tracer inside. I know Angry Gun kind of has a reputation of not putting out the greatest products, but I have their rail, I have their suppressor, and they've both worked great for me. So the nice thing about this that's different than the 5KU one is this actually has a click lock. When you twist it, it's gonna click and come off. The 5KU one does not have that and simply twists off. Inside you have two muzzle options that come with these suppressors. One of them is a flash hider, is what I have here. You could also get the muzzle brake. Also up front, I have a Surefire Scout Light Pro. I decided to go with a real light on this build as it is what I'm planning on to be using at night and for night vision games. On top of that, I have an Ace-Tech NGAO. It's not very good. It's aluminum, which is good quality, but the laser's not very high output. However, we are not allowed to use lasers at our field, so it's not really important to me. It's more there just for the clone. On my light, I'm using a Surefire tape switch with a Cloud Defensive LCS. This is probably my favorite light mount. It has built-in cable management, and it's very comfortable for me to grip. On top of that, to mount my sling, I'm using a Ferro Concepts QD point. Ideally, I would like to run it back here. This does get in the way as I'm holding my rifle, but it's not really much option as you have a 9-inch handguard with not much space on it. Noveske themselves does make a direct QD point that goes into the barrel nut. As far as I know, it will fit on this kit with some minor modifications. So in terms of rail covers and hand stops, I'm using the Karve P from Railscales and two G10 Railscales. Moving on, optic, I'm running a 6-hour Romeo 5. It's a real steel dot as I don't trust repro dots on GBBs due to the recoil. It's one of the best bang for buck red dots you can get in my opinion. And I'm running it on a Scalarworks Leaps 1.93 mount. So high mounts can be controversial, but for Airsoft I think they're very nice. When you have a higher mount, you can get on target faster, right? And it also encourages a more upright head position so you can scan better. Charging handle, I'm running a Repro Geisley charging handle, pretty normal, you can find it anywhere. Pistol grip, I'm using a Magpul K2 I like the rubbery texture, even though I still wear gloves most of the time. In terms of dust cover, this is also pretty interesting. It's the 300 Blackout dust cover made by BJTac. There's a couple companies that make it now, so it's, I would say, a pretty readily available part. On the back, I'm running a Magpul SL Stock. On the DevGuru builds, they're mostly running SLKs, but for me, I found the SLK butt surface a little too small. I kind of like the bigger butt pad of the SL. Moving on to the internals, I'm going to open the receivers here. That is a very common issue. I've had my hands on 3 Noveske kits. This one right here, one of our friends and mine. When you open it, the buffer spring does tend to shoot due to the design of the buffer stop. So inside here, I am running an Orga aluminum bolt carrier. So this bolt, I actually don't have much experience with Orga products, but at the time it was the only Noveske branded bolt that was available. So I got it, and honestly I'm pretty happy with it. It's lightweight, but the only issue is it's not very durable. I'm running a full steel guns modified trigger box. The issue with that is because aluminum is a softer metal, as this is cycling, it's wearing my bolt very fast. So I think I'll probably need a new bolt very soon, but I do recommend it for a decent quality if you're using a stock trigger box or a softer metal in your trigger box. Moving on here, I am running a GMP buffer. This buffer right here actually has shifting weights inside like a real AR buffer, and it's a fairly affordable upgrade, so I'd absolutely recommend it. Inside here I'm running a T8 buffer spring. It's not the most winterized setup, however, this buffer spring does make my return to battery on my bolt much more snappy than a stock spring. Inside here I'm running a CNC Tac 6064, right?
6061.
Oh, I don't know. Why the fuck do I keep saying 6064?
I don't know, maybe you just like the number 4.
I don't like the number 4 though. Okay. Oh shit. Just shot again. Moving on. Inside here I'm running a CNC Tac 6061 aluminum hop-up. We like this hop-up a lot. I'm pretty sure both of us are running this in our guns. We've had good experience with it in the past. Like I said, with these hops, we can easily hop 3/6s, and with GBBs, we tend to use those heavier BBs for more accurate shots. And that's about it for the breakdown of my gun. Now we're gonna move on to Dennis to see his more ghetto build.
All right, now we're gonna do a breakdown of my build. It wasn't as well thought out as Bill's build. It's kind of a parts bin build. Starting from the tip, I got a Repro blue training can. I like the idea of a real blue training can for real steel shooting and training, but for airsoft, it is a hollow can, so it doesn't really do anything other than amplify the sound. It makes kind of like a bong bong noise, you know? Just watch our videos, you guys can get an idea of what it sounds like. Over here for flashlight, I have the Olight Odin Mini. It was just in my bin. I thought about putting a Surefire on this, but the MWS system, I'm not a huge fan of it, and I don't use it that often, so I think whatever is in my bin is good enough. The nice thing though is it does charge via magnets, and the light is a QD, so you can easily detach it by just releasing the QD mount here, and it comes out and you can charge it. Just like that. Over here, the tape switch, it comes with the Olight Mini too, so it's nice. It just attaches via magnets here and it does lock into place so you can't pull it out.
The light's on.
Oh shit. Anyway, on the iron sights, I got these PTS Repro like M-buses. They're not even Repro, they're just like PTS's own version of their M-bus sights. They kind of look like the Magpul Pros, but they were cheap and I just threw it on there just for the look. The one nice thing I did buy specifically for this gun though is the Slate Black Industries slate covers and the slate, I think it was the slate anchor or slate grip. Thanks to Blue Jean Operator for that 10% off code, because I'm pretty cheap, so it definitely fit in my budget. Over here on the optic, I got a Vortex Crossfire 2. It's actually my favorite red dot, but this is also in my bin because I didn't want to buy another optic for this gun. I think this is my second one, and I love these. These are probably the best bang for buck in Canada, at least. I think they run for $200 Canadian. Over here on the back, I do have a Magpul SLK, so this is actually pretty accurate to what DevGru uses. At least one of the pictures showed a DevGru operator using a Magpul SLK. And over here on the bottom, of course I have to have my Magpul K2 Plus grip. I use these on all my guns, and I love the K2 Plus because it has the rubberized texture, and I like to play without gloves, especially like outdoor fields, just because I have more grip on my gun. Indoors I do use gloves, but with the rubberized texture, it's still even better. And in terms of internals, so I'll just split the receiver over here. Like Bill said, the buffer likes to spring out. This is a common issue with MWS guns, so you just have to be careful when you're splitting the upper part. Just hold that onto that buffer. There we go. Oh, well, doesn't matter if I hold on to it, it's still gonna spring out. On the top here for the bolts, I got the Howl bolt. It's a really nice designed bolt. It's very lightweight. I'm using the Howe bolt end as well. It adds a little bit of a weight to it. You can use a roller bolt end to make the entire bolt carrier group lighter. In the nozzle, I have a unicorn nozzle. I just like the unicorn nozzle because it's very good quality. The plastic is very durable. You're less likely to get a bent loading nozzle arm compared to like the stock MWS nozzles. And the nozzle is also made in Taiwan. The bolt's made in Taiwan. So I like to support Taiwanese companies whenever I can. Reason why I use an aluminum bolt is just to mitigate any factors when I want to worry about efficiency, especially when it's colder in Canada. With lightweight system, it just works so much better. On the bottom here, I do have a Guns Modify steel trigger box. It's the Guns Modify trigger box with steel internals, but the shell is zinc. I can see myself buying the steel, like complete steel shell, just because the shell itself doesn't take much force, so it doesn't need to be too strong. And the nice thing about the Guns Modify set is it comes with the bolt catch. It also comes with your mag catch, which is really nice. And actually, I have the Geisley flat trigger as well. This is the only one in stock at the time, so it's not a big deal. I don't mind it. I don't really notice the difference between this and a standard trigger. And actually, the cool thing about the MWS Noveske kit is they accept real steel buffer tubes. So this is a Aero Precision carbine buffer tube. And inside, I've got the PTS mech buffer with a OEM recoil spring. I use OEM recoil spring because I just took this off some kid. I didn't have a recoil spring. I didn't want to buy one, so some kid had one. I just took it. And the nice thing about the PTS mech buffer as well is it comes with... Oh, my spring fell off. But anyway, the nice thing about the PTS mech buffer is it comes with spacers for the buffer tube, and you'll need that if you're actually putting a real steel buffer, because the real steel buffers are a bit longer than an AEG or a GBB buffer tube, so you'll need to space that out, otherwise your buffer or your bolt will go too far into your buffer. And inside of this Noveske kit, I actually have pretty high-end duct tape inside the mag well. That is just to make the tolerances a bit tighter, because without the duct tape, my mag seems to wiggle a lot, and right now it doesn't wiggle, and it's nice. It still drops free, semi-free, but it's good enough. And one thing, guys, I forgot to mention, both me and Bill, we run the RA Tech NPass in our nozzles. That's just to allow us to downgrade the FPS, lower the FPS for indoor field use, and also increase that FPS for outdoor field use. So we can go as low as 200 FPS and up to 400 FPS.
Overall, we do recommend this body kit. We think very few MWS kits actually live up to the hype that they have when they're released. When you think about the very recent Toxicant MWS kit, we don't have any experience with the performance, but just the fact that the buffer end says caution, spelled caution wrong. I don't know how that got past quality control, but that's a separate topic. But overall, kits don't live up to the hype, but we definitely think this one does. If you've seen any of our videos, you would know that this thing performs very well. It's decent quality. We like the fitment. It shoots well. Not much else you can ask for from a body kit. And it's an officially licensed product. But we do have some issues with it, which Dennis is going to talk about.
I have to agree with Bill. Overall, it is a pretty good kit. There's no, spelling errors anywhere on this kit. It's pretty accurate in terms of the trademarks. But I will say the quality in terms of the paint finishing isn't as great. They claim it's a Cerakote finish. I mean, I do believe it is Cerakoted, but the finish is very thin. Parts of it are already wearing out just from like minor use. Even just rubbing with your fingers, the paint does wear out. It's not a huge issue, but I feel like they could have done a heavier coat or a better job with the Cerakote. Fitment wise, for the parts, almost everything was drop-in. Trigger box was drop-in, your bolt was drop, my bolt was drop-in. The hop-up itself wasn't actually a drop-in fit. I believe it's designed for the stock MWS hop-up. With the CNC tack, it did require a plastic shim just to fit on the sides, but after that, it was ready to go. The shim didn't really do much except for just allow the hop-up to sit in tighter. But other than that, it's a pretty good kit. I'd highly recommend it, and for the price, it's not too bad. It's definitely, I think, under $600 or around $600 for the kit. You do need to buy internals or have at least a donor MWS though. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching our video. If there's anything you liked, let us know in the comments, and if there's anything else you want to see in the future, just drop a comment down in the comment box. Thanks, guys.
Peace out.
Let's go shoot this thing.
Huh?
Let's go shoot this thing. It's a Viper tag. The fucking video.
Or for the video.
No.
Bro, for the content.
Anyways, on the fuck. What are they called again? Backup sites.
Backup
Iron
sights.
sights. Alright, start again.
Overall, we think many MW kits actually fail to live up to the hype.
Wait, no, what the fuck's an MW kit?
I said MWS.
No, I didn't hear that.
We're gonna roll back to
You said
footage.
MW.
You said MW. Yeah.
He said
No, I said MW.
No, you said
bro.
MW.
I said
That's
MWS.
probably
Many MW kits.
silent. It's okay, man. Just redo it.
Okay, fine.
MWS.
Hey, can you stop yelling
Alright,
at me?
let's go.
Jesus Christ.
English, man. Come on.
Bro, that's just racist.
Yeah, we're not doing a Chinese review video.
You want me to speak in Mandarin? I will. 你好，大家，这是 Noveske N4 MWS 枪。
BB Chang.
The
the spring I did.
It's Matt
Yeah, it's
Spring.
Matt
He's over there right
Spring.
now.
He doesn't know. I don't think he remembers. Alright, let's go.
Overall, we think very few MWS body kits actually live up to about. Fuck.
Alright. New cut. Let's go. Your mask.
Whatever.
Alright.
I'm Batman, by the way.
Alright.
Get it? Because I was like masked. Now
Yeah,
I'm like
mask off.
So
Okay,
I'm like,
fuck it, mask off.
yeah, I'm Batman.
Alright, let's go. This is actually such a bin build. I don't even know where I got this buffer tube from.
What?
Yeah.
Moving on to the internals. I'm gonna open the gun up here. Oh, my nails. Oh, my nails. Okay,
Okay, cut.
My nails are too long.
No, what you should do is like
No, first.